Hey everybody, welcome. This is No Bones About Wrestling. It's Monday, it's 6 p.m. That means this is AEW Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Asa, and I'm here, of course, with my permanent co-host, Kay Fabulous.
Hey.
And welcome, thank you for joining us. We'll start off with a t-shirt check. Kay, what you got going on tonight?
T-shirt check. I am wearing a Mark Briscoe t-shirt.
Mark Briscoe!
Them boys,
I'm not wearing a wrestling t-shirt. I'm wearing a minor league hockey t-shirt.
You can still show it off.
For the Carolina Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Yeah, out of Winston-Salem, NC. No wrestling tonight. It's cold in our house, and I don't have any wrestling sweatshirts.
It's not cold.
It's cold in our house. Anyways, so welcome tonight. Tonight's a different kind of show. Tonight is our AEW Revolution preview and prediction show. Pay-per-view is, of course, just 6 days away, and we are going to be there.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to remember what row we're sitting on. I can't remember. We're close. We got good seats.
Yeah, you will probably be able to see us when they're showing the wrestling in the ring. We'll be right there at that cutoff line.
I think we're right. Yeah, we're right at the cutoff line. I don't think you'll be able to see us when they're showing the wrestling in the ring. I think we're right above
the wide
it.
shots. The wide shots.
The wide shots, yes. But anyways, we got good seats, so we're looking forward to the show. But yeah, tonight is the pay-per-view preview. But we've got other things to do first, of course. So first, we'll start off with the recap of the TV shows, just real quick. Here we go. AEW Dynamite on the 21st was in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Started off with Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli taking on FTR. Moxley and Claudio hit a spike pile driver on the outside on Dax. Big swing on Dax into a Moxley dropkick for a 2 count. FTR hit a shatter machine, and then time expired. We got a time limit draw on this awesome tag team match.
It was fantastic.
Very good tag team match to start off Dynamite. 4.5 bones out of 5 I gave it. The teams brawl post-match and have to be separated by AEW referees and officials. So that feud is still going.
A lot of them, and it took a while to get them to separate.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. This feud I'm really enjoying.
I can't believe they waited this long to do this feud.
What, FTR versus BCC?
Yeah, the most awesome guys versus the most awesome guys.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you're getting some great in-ring work, definitely. Some good mic work as well.
Yeah. They got fire, both sides,
Mm-hmm. I'm definitely...
Fire in their bellies.
I'm definitely digging it. Up next, International Champion Orange Cassidy was with Renee and the Doctor. The Doctor says Cassidy is cleared to wrestle Mike Bennett tonight. Next, FTR is with Alex Marvez. Dax was in the middle of challenging Mox and Claudio to a match at Revolution, and Mox and Claudio show up talking trash, and FTR and BCC are again separated by referees at this point. This is in the back, and so the challenge never gets answered. So at this point we don't have a match made for the pay-per-view yet. Up next, I believe this was a non-title match. I never heard them say one way or the other, but I think this was a non-title match. AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy taking on one half of the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, Mike Bennett. Cassidy hit an orange punch, hit a beach break for the pin and the win. Good match. 4 bones out of 5. Roderick Strong and Matt Taven ran in to attack Cassidy after the match. And then Jake Hager, the home state man, ran in, surprisingly, for the save. So I don't know where he's been, but he came in and saved Orange Cassidy's butt. So that was so surprising. Up next, Angelo Parker was with Renee. Ruby Soho shows up, and Parker and Ruby Soho show up. They leave for their date. Yeah.
Yeah, their first date.
Their first date after months of bullshit on television.
Yeah. Well, their kayfabe first date.
Yeah, their kayfabe first date. They actually are together in reality. Yeah. An SUV pulls up, dropping off the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Flair tells Renee he wishes he'd been more involved in Sting's retirement run. He hasn't been around for a month, and he's going to explore his options. He then knocks on the Young Bucks' dressing room door, or their office, their executive vice president office door, and they invite him in to talk. So, who knows what's going on there between the Young Bucks and Ric Flair.
So, can I ask you a question since we're not doing a Where Is This Going segment?
Yeah.
Do you think Ric Flair is going to turn on Sting in Sting's last match?
We can talk about that in the pay-per-view preview.
Okay.
Yeah. Up next, Daniel Garcia is with Tony Schiavone in the ring. Schiavone announces that Garcia is getting the TNT title shot at Revolution against Christian Cage. Garcia thanks the fans and says he will see Adam Copeland somewhere down the line. Then the Patriarchy show up. Christian Cage talks about Garcia's family and his deceased father. Cage says he doesn't want to be Garcia's opponent, he wants to be his father. Garcia, of course, tells him to stop. Christian sent Kill Switch after Garcia, and then Matt Menard shows up with a steel chair to head him off. So we don't see Kill Switch murder Daniel Garcia. And then we have a standoff there between the Patriarchy and Matt Menard and Daniel Garcia. Up next, Rob Van Dam, FTW champion Hook, and Hangman Adam Page are with Renee. Hangman is fired up and wants to hurt Swerve Strickland and is trying to convince his teammates that they also want to hurt Swerve Strickland. Then we have a non-title match. AEW Women's World Champion Toni Storm versus Sydney Winnell. Storm won via submission as she used the Venus de Milo hold, used Deonna Purrazzo's own hold to get the submission. And then we have Deonna Purrazzo versus Madison Rayne. During this match, Madison Rayne got dropped directly on top of her head. She was fine, though. Purrazzo won via submission to the break a leg, which is Toni Storm's ankle lock. After the match, it was a squash match. After the match, Toni Storm and Mariah May ran in. Purrazzo put down Storm, but she got back up and put on the break a leg. Storm eventually releases the hold. She then reapplies her lipstick in a maniacal fashion while sitting in the ring. And then eventually Toni Storm and Luther and Mariah May leave. So really looking forward to Toni Storm versus Deonna Purrazzo on Sunday.
In a maniacal fashion, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Then Sting and Darby Allin, the World Tag Team Champs, do a promo in front of a giant medieval-style door. Don't know where they were, but
it looked awesome.
It looked cool, yeah. Darby says family is all that matters in life. Sting says the Young Bucks shouldn't have messed with his children, and now they have a fight on their hands.
This should have been the promo that happened last week instead of Darby talking about not what happened to Sting and him.
Exactly. Yeah. Tony Schiavone brings out Wardlow, who kicks Tony out of the ring. Wardlow then proceeds to cut a very good promo, cutting down CM Punk, MJF, and Samoa Joe. He puts himself over hard as a monster, saying he deserves the world title. Yeah, very good promo from Wardlow. Very good. Most convincing he's ever been on the mic. Very good.
I think it's possibly the best promo of 2024 so far.
I don't know about that. It was a very good promo.
Very good. And I'm not a huge Wardlow fan, and I thought it was excellent.
Yeah, great job. Will Ospreay will be on Dynamite next week, which means now, 2 days from right now. Also, an announcement: Wardlow will compete in something they didn't tell us at the time. They just told us he will compete in something called a Meat Madness match. That's all they said. That's all they said. So
that's so weird.
yeah. And then Renee is with Don Callis, Konosuke Takeshita, and Powerhouse Hobbs. Callis said he's going to pick up Ospreay in England, and he and Takeshita are the two best in the world. Callis also says Powerhouse Hobbs will do well in the Meat Madness match, so announces him as one of the participants. And then the main event of Dynamite is Rob Van Dam, FTW Champion Hook, and Hangman Adam Page taking on AEW World Champion Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage. RVD hit a 5-star frog splash on Brian Cage. Hook, Cage, and Hangman were in a cool superplex spot. Hook got the red rum hooked on Cage. Then on Swerve, who threw Hook off and hit a house call on him. Hangman Page hit a buckshot lariat on Brian Cage. Swerve accidentally kicked Samoa Joe outside of the ring. Hangman Page powerbombed Swerve through the announcer's table. Back in the ring, Rob Van Dam was ready for the 5-star frog splash on Samoa Joe, but Brian Cage pushed him off the top rope. Van Dam hits the ropes on his way down. Joe grabs him in the rear naked choke. Van Dam passes out. The heels win. So Joe, Strickland, and Cage get the win. Excellent 6-man tag match to end the show. 4.5 bones out of 5. Match of the night was the main event. Joe, Strickland, and Cage getting the win over RVD, Hook, and Page. Very good 6-man tag. And real quick, we'll do a synopsis of AEW Collision real quick here, or recap rather. February 24th, Springfield, Missouri, opened with a no disqualification match between Sammy Guevara and Powerhouse Hobbs of the Callis family. Hobbs whipped Guevara with Kevin Kelly's belt. He went over and forced Kevin Kelly to give him his belt and whipped Guevara with it. Hobbs slammed Guevara through 2 tables. Guevara jumped off a super high ladder onto Hobbs, through a table, did a swanton bomb. Hobbs hit the world's strongest slam on Sammy through a table and pinned him after that. Good match, 4 bones out of 5. It was pretty much just spot after spot. Well, it was less of a match and more of just a series of spots. But it was fun. It was fun. 4 bones out of 5. And Sammy's super high jump off the ladder was crazy enough to get it to the 4 bones. Sammy Guevara is insane, man. That guy's risked his life for us fans numerous times. Next, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli accept FTR's offer for a match at Revolution, so we have another Revolution match made. And then FTR take on Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. FTR get the win. It was a decent match, 3 bones out of 5. Not much to it at all. After the match, both men in FTR worked the mic. Dax was very good on the mic, as usual. Then we had a Bryan Danielson versus Jun Akiyama hype video. That was the main event of Collision. And then Thunder Rosa took on Lady Bird Monroe. Thunder Rosa hit a Tijuana bomb for the pin and the win. This was a squash match. Thunder Rosa looked good. Then Willow Nightingale, Chris Statlander, and Stokely Hathaway were with Renee. Chris Statlander challenges Sky Blue to a match next week. I assume she means on Collision next week. And then we had 2/3 of the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team champions, Jay White and Colton Gunn, teaming up with 1/3 of the AEW World Trios champions, Daddy Ass. And they took on the Iron Savages. And I'm going to keep this short and sweet. I hate the Iron Savages. They're terrible. Their selling is comical in a bad way.
In the worst way.
In the worst way. I mean, if you didn't notice it yourself, go back and watch this match.
Don't do it to yourself.
No, to watch their selling. These guys don't have a place in pro wrestling. With the giant roster that AEW has, these guys don't deserve to be on television. It's an insult to the fans when they're on TV. I mean, seriously. And then one guy who's constantly, pulling on his singlet as though he's going to pull it off and show his cock to everybody. It's fucking disgusting. And their gimmick, when they're talking about eating assholes all the fucking time, it's fucking disgusting. I'm sick of these fucking guys. I'm sick of seeing them. And their selling, like I said, is amateurish and they suck. They fucking suck. Fuck them.
I think it's worse than amateurish.
Yeah.
Like amateurs know not to do that.
Yeah. I mean, they're selling. Yeah.
It's like a child. If a child was in a play.
Yeah. Their selling made everyone in the match look bad.
Mm-hmm.
The way that they were selling moves. It was silly. So anyway, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, speaking of silly, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang team, they won in a squash match, thankfully. The Iron Savages did not win. Then we had a Bryan Danielson promo. And then Malachi Black had his first singles match in about 2 years, maybe slightly over 2 years. And he took on the bounty hunter Brian Keith. Black hit a spinning wheel kick for the pin and the win. This was a decent match. You could tell that it's been a while since Malachi Black had a singles match, and this was a pretty good match, pretty good. Gave it 3.5 bones out of 5. After the match, Mark Briscoe shows up, and he has a spike with him. But before that, Buddy Matthews and Brody King of the House of Black show up, of course. Mark Briscoe kendo sticks them, and then Briscoe goes after Malachi with the spike. But Matthews and King come back. They attack Briscoe, and Black takes him down. So I don't know why Mark Briscoe has no friends to come and help him. He seems like a friendly guy. He was friends with FTR at one point. I don't know why they don't come and help him anymore.
He was friends with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett.
Right.
He's friends with the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Everyone's friends with Mark Briscoe. He's so nice.
Yeah, but they don't.
All the faces.
Yeah, but they don't come help him anymore.
Yeah.
So who knows? Yeah, but Mark Briscoe has no friends in that feud with the House of Black. Next, Serena Deeb versus Lady Frost. Serena Deeb looked awesome in this match. She was terrific. Her offense, she's great. She is a technician in that ring. She is the Bret Hart of women's wrestling, I would say.
Oh.
And she looked flawless, really. She won with a single leg crab. Lady Frost was a last minute replacement. Kiera Hogan had an illness, and Lady Frost was a last minute replacement. Deeb won with a single leg crab, and Frost tapped out. And this was a good match. 3.5 bones out of 5. I would have given it more, but there just wasn't a lot of offense out of Lady Frost, so I can't give 4 bones to a match that doesn't have offense both ways. Really, it's hard to say that's 4 bones. So 3.5 bones for that match. And Serena Deeb looked fantastic, and she was on the mic after the match, and good promo, decent promo, I should say. Got her point across. She needs a little work on the mic, but
she sounds nervous.
She sounds nervous on the mic, but she got her point across where she's coming from. But yeah, she's great in the ring. And then the Collision main event, Bryan Danielson versus the veteran Jun Akiyama, Eddie Kingston's idol. Danielson hit a running knee to pin Akiyama. Pretty good match. 4 bones out of 5. This was the match of the night. Danielson kicks Akiyama in the nuts after the match. And then Eddie Kingston jumps in to beat on Danielson. And then Claudio Castagnoli jumps in. And Moxley shows up, and etc. And eventually we get an announcement that FTR and Eddie Kingston versus Blackpool Combat Club is made for Dynamite, right, on Wednesday.
Yes.
So that should be great. And that is how Collision ends. And like I said, match of the night was Danielson and Akiyama on Collision. So the match of the week, AEW match of the week, was that 6-man tag on Dynamite where Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage beat Rob Van Dam, Hook, and Hangman Adam Page. That was a fantastic match. That's the match of the week. And so, like I said, tonight is our pay-per-view preview and prediction show. So we're doing things a little differently, a little different order. Some of our segments we're not doing tonight, and some we're doing in a different order than usual. And that means right now at this time, wait. Top five. Top 5. The AEW Weekly Top 5 Rankings. It's a proprietary secret formula. It'll never be cracked. Our formula will never be revealed. You'll never figure it out. We will take the secret to our watery graves.
That was okay.
So, what are we doing first? Men, women, or teams?
Let's do teams first.
Teams. These are the top 5 teams for this week. Number 5, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage with that big win. Get on the board. Number 5. Number 4, falling 2 spots from number 2 last week, the Young Bucks, the number 1 contenders to the tag team titles. Number 3, up 2 spots from last week, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli after participating in that awesome match with FTR on Dynamite. Number 2, back in the rankings because of that awesome match, FTR. And number 1, bless you, number 1, same as last week, the World Tag Team Champions, undefeated, Sting and Darby Allin. So what next, Kay? Men or women?
Let's do men.
Men. Number 5, back in the top 5, thanks to his win over Jun Akiyama on Collision, Bryan Danielson. Number 4, got the win over Mike Bennett on Dynamite, the AEW International Champion, Orange Cassidy. Number 3, Hangman Adam Page. Same as last week. Number 2, same as last week, Swerve Strickland. And number 1, same as last week, AEW World Champion, Samoa Joe. So 2 weeks in a row, the top 4 are the same. That's never happened before. So that was number 1, Samoa Joe. Number 2, Swerve Strickland. Number 3, Hangman Adam Page. Number 4, Orange Cassidy. Number 5, Bryan Danielson.
It's probably 3 weeks in a row.
Is
Because
it?
we didn't have a lot to work with last week because there was only Dynamite, no Collision.
It may be 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I remember there wasn't a lot of change last week because of that, only having one show.
And I didn't repeat the teams from the top. From the top, the teams, number 1, Sting and Darby Allin. Number 2, FTR. Number 3, Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli. Number 4, the Young Bucks. Number 5, Samoa Joe, Swerve Strickland, and Brian Cage. So now for the women. Number 5, she looked pretty good in her loss to Serena Deeb on Collision. Lady Frost back in the top 5. Number 4, back in the top 5, got the squash win on Collision. but looked great doing it, Thunder Rosa.
Yeah.
Number 3, Serena Deeb. Number 2, same as last week, Deonna Purrazzo, number 1 contender to the world title. And number 1, same as last week, the AEW World Women's Champion, Toni Storm. So that's number 1, Toni Storm. Number 2, Deonna Purrazzo. Number 3, Serena Deeb. Number 4, Thunder Rosa. And number 5, Lady Frost. And those are your AEW Top 5 rankings for February 26th, 2024. And coming up right now, we have the ever-popular segment, Kay Fabulous's Wrestling Fashion Do's and Don'ts. Do.
If you're a member of the patriarchy, do wear a tight, short black leather jacket like Mother Wayne.
Don't.
If you're about to go on a first date, don't wear a dress that looks like you stole it from Fred Flintstone like Ruby Soho.
Don't.
Even though it looked awesome, if your gimmick is you are a monstrous meat man that everyone should be scared of, don't wear purple crushed velvet like Powerhouse Hobbs.
Do.
If you have to face down a starlet in the ring, do bring your fashion A game with a gold capelet with foot-long fringe like Deonna Purrazzo. And that is your fashion do's and don'ts for the week.
Thank you, Kay. Very good. Very good. And now it is time for the AEW News Roundup. So I'm going to do the news, which usually ends the show, but I'm going to do the news, and then we're going to do the pay-per-view preview and prediction. We're going to do match by match, go through the pay-per-view, and do our preview and predictions. Our dog doesn't like that, apparently. It's okay. Kevin Nash says WWE won't allow him to attend Sting's final match at AEW Revolution. Nash addressed the issue on his podcast, Click This. Nash says Sting asks him to be in attendance. The two men worked together frequently throughout their careers, starting in 1991 in Jim Herd era WCW when Nash wrestled as Oz. If you've never seen Kevin Nash as Oz, Google that. It's a sight to behold. Ted Turner owned the rights to the Wizard of Oz then, and they said, dress him up like he is Oz, the great and powerful. And they dressed him up to look like an old man, and he dressed in all green, and he was Oz, like from the fucking Wizard of Oz.
Wait, I have some questions.
Yeah.
So when you say he was Oz, are you talking about the Oz projection or the Oz that's hiding behind the curtain?
He was a smaller version of the Oz projection. So
okay.
He wasn't like 50 feet tall, but he was
like
7 feet tall. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But not the like feeble man behind the curtain.
No. Nash and Sting later teamed up as members of NWO Wolfpack and the Millionaires Club in WCW, and as members of the Main Event Mafia in TNA. The February 16th episode of AEW Rampage, which began at 7 p.m., averaged 300,000 viewers on TNT. That's down 34.2% from the previous week. Big drop. The show drew a 0.09 rating in the 18 through 49 demo, down 35.7% from the previous week. So it was a very good show, the one that was on at 7 p.m., because the NBA All-Star stuff going on. Very good Rampage. But, we were hoping that it would draw more viewers being on at 7 before the NBA All-Star stuff, but fucking apparently not. Jeez, that's terrible.
I was hoping they would permanently move it to that spot so I don't have to stay up late on a Friday.
Yeah, it's nice. Wrestling, 7 p.m. on a Friday night.
Do something afterwards.
Yeah, even. I loved it, being on at 7. Um, oh, we still have to watch this week's Rampage.
Do it?
Yes.
Oh.
Jim Ross says, quote, broken hip is responding well following surgery. He's out of the rehab facility and improving daily. His broken hip surgery was also a cancer surgery. Ross's AEW contract expired on February 14th. It's not known if he signed a new deal, but Ross wants to call Sting's retirement match in Greensboro with Tony Schiavone. Ross also noted on his podcast that he wants to announce with Tony Schiavone going forward. And he made a note, he said, I want to do these things, so I better get signed. But as I said, no one knows if he is signed or not. And there has been no sort of announcement or anything. The Rock's $7 Productions is developing a project on the amazing, unique, and wild life of the Nature Boy Ric Flair. As part of a multi-year deal with Woo Energy Drink, Flair has made a handful of appearances in AEW alongside Sting as he approaches his final match in 6 days. Flair wrestled his final match in July 2022. Flair has been the subject of several documentaries. This will be the second time Flair will be depicted in a feature film after last year's The Iron Claw film, in a performance that was mocked by wrestling fans.
As it should have been.
And yeah, if you haven't seen The Iron Claw yet, excellent film, but the guy who played Ric Flair, it was fucking awful.
If you didn't know who Ric Flair was,
well, right. If
then
you didn't know who,
okay.
Right, like I said, it worked in the movie. Like,
yeah.
If you didn't know who Ric Flair was, it works in the movie. But he was playing a real person, and he did a terrible job of acting like Ric Flair.
It might be the worst impression I've ever seen.
It was like he never saw a Ric Flair promo. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah, it was like we watched something where someone was doing a Macho Man impersonation, but they were just talking in their regular voice, like they're macho. They would say like, "Oh yeah," but like there was like even I put more inflection than they did, and I feel like that was like the level of Ric Flair impersonation. It was just like some guy in a wig.
Yeah.
Acting like himself.
Yeah, it was not good. Okay. But again, The Iron Claw, excellent film.
Yes.
If you've not seen it, highly recommended. Probably the best movie I saw last year, I'd say.
This year.
It was from last year.
Oh, I see.
Anyways, also WWE's Grayson Waller played Flair on Young Rock, the Rock's now canceled TV series on NBC. So yeah, The Rock is producing a movie about Ric Flair. So we'll see.
How'd you make it through that whole thing without wooing?
I don't know.
You even called it woo energy instead of wooing. That was very surprising.
So we'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to see. You figure, I mean, I'm sure they'll want it rated PG-13, but man, I want a fucking R-rated Ric Flair movie. That's what I want to see.
Is Ric Flair like on board with this?
He has to, I mean, you figure he has to be, right?
They made the Richard Simmons biopic without Richard Simmons' permission.
That's true.
I just am a little nervous. If he's not on board with this, like, what are they going to put in this?
I don't know. I don't know if Flair is on board with it or not. AEW hired former WWE and soap opera writer Jennifer Pepperman. She is vice president of content development now for AEW. She worked with WWE from 2017 through last week. Before that, she worked for soap operas One Life to Live and As the World Turns, and she won Emmy Awards for her work on the soap operas. Pepperman is close with Mercedes Moné from their time together in WWE, and now she is about to work with her again in a couple weeks here.
That's awesome.
So, Will Ospreay's first appearance as a full-time member of the AEW roster is 2 days away on AEW Dynamite in Huntsville, Alabama.
I have a friend from Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Ospreay wrapped up his commitment to New Japan earlier this month in a 10-man steel cage match at the New Beginning in Osaka. The April 6th edition of AEW Collision will be taped April 3rd in Worcester, Massachusetts. It's not yet known if it will air against Night 1 of WrestleMania 40 in its regular time slot, or if it will be preempted and air before WrestleMania 40 airs. Madison Rayne is okay after landing directly on top of her head during her loss to Deonna Purrazzo. AEW signed Rayne as a coach in 2022. At the time, it wasn't clear if she would also wrestle, but now she is. AEW is bringing the 3rd edition of Forbidden Door to Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York, according to Andrew Zarian. There's not been an official announcement of that yet. Hangman Adam Page worked his ankle injury on AEW Dynamite because there's something going on in his personal life, and he may not work the Revolution pay-per-view. The injury would be his cover story if he has to miss the show. This was reported by Brian Alvarez.
What's weird about that is, I mean, the only way I saw the injury was because people on Twitter posted video after the cameras turned off on Dynamite. So if they wanted to sell that injury for a purpose, why didn't they show it on the show?
Well, I think he'll probably be selling it on Dynamite this week as well.
Okay. It just seemed odd.
Yeah, but I think he'll be selling it this week also. But yeah, so whatever's going on with him, I hope he makes the show. AEW Dynamite averaged 828,000 viewers on TBS. That's up 2% from the previous week and did a 0.29 rating in the 18 to 49 demo. That's down 3.3% from the previous week. Despite their involvement in Sting's retirement angle, his sons Garrett and Steven Jr. are not interested in becoming pro wrestlers. Saraya's brother, Zodiac Zack Knight, has signed with AEW. In a backstage promo on AEW Rampage, Saraya introduced Knight. Knight began with Ring of Honor in December of last year. Saraya helped him obtain a work visa. Knight's debut match was in 2002 as he faced his own mother, Sweet Saraya Knight.
Wait, what?
Yeah. His debut match was 22 years ago.
Against his mom.
Against his own mother.
I wonder how many wrestlers can say that.
I'm sure very few.
That's awesome.
And also, lastly, Kiera Hogan was set to wrestle Serena Deeb on Collision, but was pulled from the show due to illness, and as I said, was replaced at the last minute with Lady Frost. All right, and now the AEW Revolution prediction and preview part of the show. So this will be for the No Bones About Wrestling prediction championship belt, which you can see it's hanging up. It's the farthest one from K. It's the one with the red on it.
Well, I'm pointing at. I was pointing at. It's hard to point.
Yeah,
There
the one with the red on it. There you go. So that's what's at stake.
I'm the current champion, in case you were wondering who currently holds the belt. It's me.
Unfortunately,
and it's been me for a while.
So yeah, so the belt is at stake. Yeah. So we always keep track of who does the best at predicting pay-per-views, and of course, whoever predicts the most matches correctly gets the belt.
And if there's a tie, champions, what's it called? Champions
Advantage.
Advantage.
Yeah. Champion retains the belt if there's a tie.
Which is how I've retained it for so long.
All right, so let's start off here. I've taken it from. I just did kind of trying to predict the order. I have no idea what the match order will be. So I've just kind of tried to predict the match order, and we'll go from first to main event. We'll start with the three-way Meat Madness match. We got Wardlow, Powerhouse.
I can't get over the name. I'm sorry.
We got Wardlow, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Lance Archer. So, Kay, what do you think?
So, okay, I can't handle it. Why the name? Why? Like,
Well, I think they're just gonna get out there and pull their trunks down and just slap their
Slap
dicks
their-
together, right? Just slap dicks is what this match is gonna be, from my understanding.
well, that was not my understanding, so my picks aren't based on that. But it just makes me think of like
Slapping
that they're going to be
dicks.
in like a slaughterhouse instead of the ring, you know?
Oh,
Anyway, sorry, I find the name very entertaining. So in this match, I have Wardlow winning. He's the only one of the three men who is currently at least putting himself in the AEW World Heavyweight title picture. So if he doesn't win, that's a real bad look for him. And I think that the Undisputed Kingdom have to get wins, big wins, or they lose any kind of momentum that they had. They've already lost a lot of it, and I feel like this would just kill it if they don't give it to Wardlow.
yeah, they have lost. I wouldn't say. Well, they have lost a lot of it, haven't they? Yeah, they have.
Yeah, when you think about like pre-Devil reveal to now,
Yeah.
they're like nothing almost, you know?
No, they're not nothing. Not nothing.
Other than those ROH tag titles.
Well, no, they're still like beating people up. They still have been beating up the best friends. They still got.
Yeah, but think about how they were beating people up when they were masked minions. They're like throwing them through windows and like smashing them through like car windshields.
They need to go back to that.
Yeah.
They need to go back to that.
Now there's just like a guy on the floor and they're like air kicking him.
Yeah. It's yeah.
Even the smashed beer bottle over Hangman's head with him laying on the ground, you know?
Mm.
That was more than what we've gotten so far from them.
Yeah. No, they need to step up the viciousness of the attacks. Yeah. That's part of what made the devil, who's the devil angle. That's part of what made it so interesting to me, was the viciousness, the violence of the attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Made it stand out from a lot of other wrestling angles. But yeah, they need to go back to that to make themselves stand out, to make themselves seem like a threat. I agree with that for sure. And Wardlow is one of the biggest threats in the stable. And as you say, he's the one that they've said is going after the world title for them to give it to Adam Cole. Wardlow has been just facing jobbers, though, and slaughtering them. So this is his first match since he's been in the Undisputed Kingdom. This is his first match against real competition, isn't it?
Yes.
I think it is, yeah.
Even pre-Undisputed Kingdom, this is his first match against real competition. I would say in like a year.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I don't think I am.
You're wrong.
I'll look it up afterwards.
You're wrong. I'm telling you, you're wrong.
Who do you wrestle?
I don't know, but you're wrong. I know you're wrong. Yeah. So we got Powerhouse Hobbs, who's getting a little of a push. And I mean, I love Hobbs. He's good on the mic, I think. Great look, great in the ring. Should go to him too. He's been getting a push. It'd be hard to see him lose. Lance Archer, I don't know what. I mean, I like Lance Archer personally. That's who I'll be cheering for in this match, but I don't think he has a chance in hell of winning.
I think he's the one that's taken the pin.
Yeah, he's taking the pin, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna say Wardlow. Wardlow gets the win.
Have you not already decided these?
I have.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Wardlow gets the win.
Are you changing your answer?
No, I'm right. I'm just keeping track of who predicted what.
Yeah.
So should be an entertaining match, I think. I'm not a big fan of three ways, particularly because there's always that time when somebody gets hit and then they're dead for 5 minutes or whatever.
Mhm.
They're just dead outside the ring, and I hate that shit because it doesn't make sense. They've just been hit. Usually, they've just been hit with a regular wrestling move. Why are they dead now for 5 minutes?
Mhm.
I hate that. I hate the predictability of it. I hate the fact that it doesn't make sense. I hate the fact that it's in every triple threat match. That's what I hate about three-way matches is that the dead man on the outside spot. I hate it.
Yeah, but one of our biggest complaints with AEW has been that they don't let the big men fight other big men.
Mm-hmm.
And now not only are we getting a match, we're getting 3 big dudes in a match. So I feel like that's a huge step in the right direction.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, then that's the thing. They really do protect their big men. They don't want Hobbs to get pinned. They don't want Archer to get made to look bad, even really. But he will be the one taking the pin for sure. They don't want Wardlow to look bad. They don't want Miro to look bad. But now he's not even on TV because apparently he doesn't want to do business with anyone. Who else? Who am I not thinking of?
I feel like Takeshita to an extent.
Well, he's not a big guy.
He's a big dude.
That's not him. No.
Brian Cage?
Brian Cage, yeah. But they don't protect him at all, which is weird. They just have him wrestle like a normal guy. It's strange. They don't protect Cage at all. But they will protect Wardlow and Hobbs.
Cage isn't the one to take pins when they're in their 6-man matches, though.
No, but just in the way he wrestles.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
In the way he wrestles, they don't protect him. They don't protect his image as like an unstoppable big bad guy.
Yeah, Brody King.
Brody King, very protected. Yeah, protected image very much. So yeah, it's nice to see the big guys clashing here. So yeah, we're both picking Wardlow in that opening match there in the 3-way meat madness match.
And just for full transparency, we have not seen each other's picks.
No, yeah, we've not discussed this at all. All right. Up next, we got the tag team grudge match. I've heard several people saying make this a double dog collar match, and that would be cool, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get a stipulation added to it on Wednesday, some sort of stipulation, perhaps. But right now there isn't a stipulation on it. And I'm talking, of course, about Jon Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli of the BCC versus FTR.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I would love to see a stipulation added to this match. You can't add a stipulation that's going to make this match outshine Sting's retirement match.
Right.
So I feel like a double dog collar match, you were putting that match way over Sting's final match, and you should not do that.
Yeah.
So, 2 out of 3 falls, everyone banned from the ring side. Something that's not going to overshadow who the show is for, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
That's my piece.
So this feud, it's kind of a new feud, kind of just getting its legs under it, but it's been hot since it started. It's been hot, and they had a great match on Dynamite last week. So yeah, more. I want more of it, definitely. That was a 15-minute match, I believe, something like that. 15, 20-minute match.
I think it was 15.
So this one, who knows what they'll make the time limit. It'll be interesting. We'll see. AEW doesn't have standard time limits. They just make up shit. They just do whatever they want,
I like it.
Yeah, that's fine, but it's unpredictable,
Well, they say it before the match. It's not like it's like a mystery, and then in the middle of the match, they're like, "Oh, you only got 3 minutes left."
Yeah, but I'm just saying, before the matches, you never know what the time
Yeah.
limit is going to be.
Unless it's an Iron Man, and then
Unless
usually
they've
tell you.
advertised it. Yeah, unless they've advertised it. Okay, so Moxley and Castagnoli versus FTR. Who you got?
Well, it deeply pains me to say this, but
Yeah.
I have Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
I really want FTR to win. Like, I really want them to win. But I've learned that you don't pick against Jon Moxley because that man almost never loses.
That's true.
So I'm going with that.
Tony Khan loves Jon Moxley. So do I.
I don't know.
A lot of people love Jon Moxley. He's like the ace of the promotion, I might say. Yeah. You wouldn't say?
No.
Who's the top guy in the promotion?
Kenny Omega. Followed by Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, maybe Omega.
Yes.
Maybe Omega. I mean, Omega's the best. Don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about reliability, like who's there for it night in, night out, and this and that.
I mean, up until his hospitalization, Omega was wrestling while he was like actively dying. You know, I mean, like he had to be in so much pain, and he still showed up to work and wrestled. That's crazy. I mean, I get Jon Moxley like didn't take his vacation because they needed him to stay and stuff like that, and I understand his appeal. It just doesn't appeal to me. But no, I would not say he's their top guy.
Yeah, maybe Omega. It's either Omega or Moxley. You got to be one of those two, I'd say. Well, or Danielson, like you said, you can make the case for Danielson for sure.
Omega's been there since the beginning, so that's part of why I would say Omega also.
Yeah,
you know,
Moxley's been there pretty much since the beginning.
But pretty much since the beginning, and since the beginning, not the same thing.
Yeah, I think Moxley came on. I could be wrong. I think Moxley came on like their second show or something, like their second pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Okay, so you say Moxley and Castagnoli. Why?
I told you because Moxley never loses.
Okay.
Yeah, I really hope I'm wrong. Because FTR from North Carolina, I would love for them to get a big win here at the pay-per-view. Is this the first pay-per-view to be in North Carolina?
For AEW?
For AEW.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, for sure. Because we would have gone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. So, yeah, I would love for them to get a pay-per-view win here.
And I'm picking FTR to win.
Well, even if it costs me the belt, I hope you're right.
I feel like, we got the hometown, home state, not hometown, the home state juices going for FTR. I feel like they will get the win over Moxley and Castagnoli. And I'm not sure if that match will be the end of this feud. I don't know.
I think we might see some interference.
Yeah, from whom?
Well, you have Yuta and Bryan Danielson that are both members of the BCC.
Right.
And we've kind of been saying for a while that the BCC could use a new member. So it could always be someone that's trying to make a name for themselves to get into the BCC by coming to their rescue.
That would be interesting. Mm-hmm. A lot of people have been saying they could use a female member.
It's Randy.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I feel like that's such a great fit for everyone.
I'm not sure if she fits them.
She needs to drop the face angle.
The what?
The face angle and become a heel.
Yeah. She's like too happy for them and nice.
Yeah, but she looks like she could be mean.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. I mean, her wrestling style, definitely. But anyways, so I'm picking FTR. I mean, they're the more established team. And like I said, we're in the home state. I feel like FTR is going to get the win over Moxley and Castagnoli. I just feel like Tony Khan's going to give him the win in the home state, and we'll see the FTR come out with it.
Well, like I said, I hope you're right.
Yeah. And do you feel like this will be the end of this feud?
No, not at all.
No? You don't think this is a feud that they just put together for this pay-per-view just so these guys could all be on the card?
I think that is definitely why it started, but I think given the performance that we've seen from them so far and like the heat that this feud is getting, I think that they're going to continue with it.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of accidental, but I think they should run with it.
Definitely. Yeah. Keep it going, I say. It's been fantastic so far. Fantastic. All right, so that's the first one we split on. I pick FTR. Kay says Moxley and Castagnoli. I'm not sure who I'm cheering for in that one. You're cheering for FTR.
How are you going to cheer against FTR?
I'm not sure. I'm cheering.
It's like watching Arn Anderson wrestle. You got to root for him. And they're from the home state.
Probably. I don't know who I'll cheer for. Up next, AEW Continental Crown title match. If Danielson loses, he must shake Kingston's hand. You got the Continental Crown champion, Eddie Kingston, taking on Bryan Danielson. Okay, who you got?
I have Bryan Danielson. Let me preface this with I like Eddie Kingston. I think he's a great character. I think his wrestling is much better than what it was at first. And I think he brings a lot of personality to the show that some other characters are lacking. But I didn't think he should have won the Triple Crown in the first place.
Wow.
Well, okay, so he had 2 of those 3 belts.
That's an indictment.
It makes no sense to have this huge tournament to give the belts to the person who already had them. It's just I don't get it. Plus, out of all the people in your company, that's the man that you think is worthy of 3 belts.
I don't think he should have won it either.
It's like it's madness to me.
Yeah, I don't think he should have won it either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy for him.
I'm also happy for him.
But I don't think he should have won
and he's been a good champion.
Has he, though? He hasn't even been defending it.
He's defended it a few times.
When? He defended it like once or twice.
Yeah. I guess I just meant like promo-wise. He's been a good champion. But
he's not even been defending the title.
Yeah. I just don't understand how in a tournament where you have Bryan Danielson and Jon Moxley and Andrade. Wait, was Andrade on that? Yeah. And I mean, even like Brody King
and Roosh.
I mean, I could go on.
Name a few.
But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you bypass all of them and land on Eddie Kingston. So I am for him losing the belt. And also, I don't see how he could realistically, in a match, beat Bryan Danielson and have it be remotely believable. So I'm going with Bryan Danielson. Plus, I want Bryan Danielson to have all the belts because he's fantastic. And if this is his last year in wrestling as a full-time wrestler, I'd like him to go out with flowers. What do you got?
I also pick Bryan Danielson to win. I think it'd be nice to see Danielson have 3 belts. It'd be nice to see him. You know, he's not held a title in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, it's his final year as a full-time wrestler. So he says. So, you know, before he goes out, I would like to see him with a belt, you know, with a title to defend, you know, with some purpose in his final year, instead of just having random matches. I mean, don't get me wrong, random matches can be fun and whatnot, but it'd be nice to have some purpose, you know, like I said, with a belt, something to defend, some reason for his matches. not just having fun. You know?
Are these belts being defended? Like, is Eddie wrestling in Japan and on Ring of Honor defending these belts, or is it only being defended on AEW?
Do not know. Do not know.
Because the implication of I guess not unifying, but triple crowning these belts together made me think that whoever won them was going to wrestle in all three promotions.
Right.
And I think that would be cool for Danielson to
Right.
be able to do in his final full year.
Yeah, exactly. And that's something I could see him doing and doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see him shaking Eddie Kingston's hand on Sunday. So I think I see him winning the belts. Yeah. So I picked Danielson, and I will be cheering for Danielson for sure. Yeah.
And again, nothing against Eddie Kingston. I just feel like they're just not on the same level.
Yeah, no, I mean, Danielson's one of my favorites. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world. No question.
No question.
No question. So fun to watch him wrestle.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that match will be good. We'll see. We'll see. Kingston is a little hit or miss for me. Hit and miss for me, I should say. Hit or miss.
Or miss.
Hit or miss. Excuse me. So we'll see. I hope it's a good match. I think it will be. I think Kingston will bring his A game. You know, he knows he's fighting one of the best in the world, so he knows he needs to bring it. So, all right. Up next, AEW International Title Match. We got the champion Orange Cassidy representing the Best Friends, and the challenger Roderick Strong representing the Undisputed Kingdom. Who you got, Kay?
I have Roderick Strong. Orange Cassidy is sorry, I'm getting a child abduction alert on my phone.
Right.
Orange Cassidy is a 2-time international champion, and I feel like he's had the belt for long enough that it doesn't really serve a purpose for him anymore and should be passed on to another person. And I think Roderick Strong and the Undisputed Kingdom definitely need belts. One might say desperately need belts. They have the Ring of Honor tag belts, but I feel like those kind of only matter to people that like really care about Ring of Honor. Like I care about them, but I think a lot of people that are like only AEW people just see them as like a prop that they bring with them. That kind of lacks meaning.
Right.
So I feel like getting with the level to which Orange Cassidy has raised the international title, I view it as the secondary belt. I know that not everyone does. Some people put the TNT belt there.
You put it over the TNT?
I put it over the TNT.
Wow.
It's defended more frequently. The matches have been better. And frankly, the wrestler shows up at like pretty much every week to have a match. And I just feel like really the caliber of matches that Orange Cassidy has consistently put on make that belt seem so much more important than it did when it debuted.
You got some points there. You got some points. The Christian Cage and Copeland feud has gone a long way to making the TNT belt great again, as they say. But I don't know. You got some points there.
I think there's a difference between great and interesting. And I feel like Christian has made the TNT belt interesting again. But he's defended it so infrequently that it doesn't seem important. You know, like I don't think he's raised the caliber of the belt the way Orange Cassidy has. And so
no, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
So I think for the Undisputed Kingdom to get what I view as the second most important belt in the company, while another member is going after the first belt, I think that would be a really good look for them.
It's clear that AEW views the TNT title as number 2.
See, I thought that also, but then how do you explain whatever the hell that he did with like Wardlow and Powerhouse Hobbs? Or he had the belt for like a day.
Well, then I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Still maybe viewed it as number 2, but I'm not sure what they were doing back then. But
I feel
now
like they were trying to flush it down the toilet back then.
yeah. But now I think definitely you can say that AEW views it as the number 2 belt. Views the TNT as number 2
Because they gave it to like a veteran,
well,
like a well-established.
because they gave it to Christian,
Yeah.
and because he's been such a part of things, you know, and he's been having these important angles. He's been pushed pretty hard as a heel, even though he doesn't wrestle very much. He's been pushed hard as a heel. When he does appear, it's memorable. You know, usually something happens. Something happens that matters. Something of note happens. And his and Adam Copeland's match from World's End was the best match on the show.
Oh, definitely.
And that really helped the TNT belt look like something again.
And then we had a 45-second title reign.
Right. Correct. Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so I'm picking Roderick Strong because to me, I think the international belt's more important. I don't care what AEW thinks.
Okay.
And yeah, I think Roderick Strong's a great wrestler. I think having a heel with a belt is always a good move. Yeah.
But like you said, you can make a case for the international title. I mean, Cassidy, his work rate, the caliber of matches he's had, like you said, it's hard to argue against it.
Yeah, I
being
think
number 2. I mean, you can't argue that the TNT title has had the quality of matches that, because they don't have matches. They don't have TNT title matches, period. They don't occur. They don't exist.
Yeah.
So there's nothing to compare it to. So it's almost like the belt doesn't exist. We get a defense once every 2 or 3 months or something.
It is the belt I consistently forget about the most.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I just forget it exists.
Definitely.
And I think too, Orange
Cassidy. The
Cassidy.
last time it was defended, unless I'm wrong, was in December at World's End.
Yeah.
It's now. It's February now. The pay-per-view is going to be March. You know.
I think too, Orange Cassidy has proven his worth with this title reign.
Yeah.
And so I feel like he's ready to get bumped up to that AEW World Heavyweight scene.
Yeah, definitely.
And what was I going to say? Oh, and they need a face. That's what I was going to say. They need a face. They need a baby face in the running, because I know Hangman's supposed to be a baby face, but he's getting booed a lot going up against Swerve, and so I think a baby face that, like, I don't think people are going to boo Orange Cassidy. You know, people love him. Well, they either love him or hate him, but the lovers far outnumber the haters.
Yeah, I think so. So in this one, I also picked Roderick Strong. I think this is the match where I'm most sure of who's winning. I don't think there's a chance that Cassidy leaves with the title.
Wait, over the Ospreay match?
Oh, excuse me. This is the match where I'm second most sure of who's winning. No. I'll take it back, because I don't know. I could see them trying to trick us. I could see them trying to trick us with that. I'm going to take it back. This is the match that I'm most sure of who's winning. I don't think Cassidy has any chance of leaving with the belt. I think Roderick Strong definitely is going to win it. And furthermore, I think he should win it. As Kay said, the Undisputed Kingdom needs to look more threatening. They need some gold. They have the Ring of Honor tag team titles, which in a lot of people's eyes don't mean much. They really should, though. I mean, those belts have been held by a lot of great tag teams, and there have been some amazing matches for those belts.
Yeah. So
those belts mean a lot, really. I mean, if you don't know, look it up. Look up some of the matches, the history. Look up the teams that have held them. Those belts mean a lot.
I care about them more than the AEW tag titles.
Really?
Yeah.
I would even argue they mean more than the AEW tag team titles.
Yeah.
I mean, really, their history and, like I said, just the matches that have been fought for those Ring of Honor tag team titles. It's yeah, they have an amazing history, really. But yeah, anyways, point being, the Kingdom have those belts, and now they're going to add the international belt here with Roderick Strong, and they're going to help the Undisputed Kingdom look a little stronger here, no pun intended, and get back, hopefully get back to kind of ruling things. I think the Undisputed Kingdom needs to beat some ass. They need to, like I've been saying, they need to be, when you turn on the TV to AEW. I think the Undisputed Kingdom needs to be the first thing on your mind. What are they up to tonight? Who are they going to fuck up tonight? What are they gonna mess up tonight? Who are they after? They need to be the first thing on your mind right now, and they're not. They're an afterthought right now.
They're after the afterthought.
Yeah, and that's not the way they should be. I mean, this faction, just the people in it, are so talented. I mean, it's a great collection of talent, and I thought the devil angle, I thought it was great. I enjoyed it a lot. The reveal wasn't so great. They didn't handle that well, and they haven't handled the after very well. But I think it can still be saved. But they need to get on it ASAP, and they giving Strong the belt, and like I said, reestablishing these guys as a real threat. Have them attacking people with the violence that they did during the mystery part of the angle. Throwing them through windows and onto car windshields and that kind of shit. That's what we need to be seeing these guys doing.
Well, and have follow-up from all those angles that you set up last year, at the end of last year. The whole reason the Bang Bang Scissor Gang exists is because their mutual dislike for the Undisputed Kingdom.
Yeah.
But since they united, they haven't even mentioned them.
Yeah, they haven't done fuck all.
Yeah. Get it together.
Yeah, we've seen the Best Friends and Undisputed Kingdom having a feud. But yeah, the Bang Bang Scissor Gang hasn't gone against them at all. And of course, MJF is still out and is going to be out for a bit. But the Bang Bang Scissor Gang, you've got two different groups there you can feud with, and then you still got the Best Friends with whom you're feuding, and then you can add another feud on. I mean, you got 5 guys in that stable. Yeah, and Adam Page, right?
I know he's busy with Swerve right now, but when he's done with Swerve, it would make sense to
exactly. So it can be saved, but they need to get on it and reestablish who they are, why they're a threat, the fact that they are a threat, and like I said, they need to be the first thing you think of when you turn on AEW. And so Roderick Strong needs to win this match, and I think he will. And I think this is going to be a great match, Cassidy and Strong. I think it's going to be an awesome match. Cannot wait to see this one.
I think this pay-per-view is going to be great. As I'm sitting here staring at my little note card with the matches on it.
Oh, this looks like a great show.
Oh my God.
This looks like a great show to me. Really does. Next match. AEW TNT title match. Champion Christian Cage of the Patriarchy taking on Daniel Garcia. Okay, who do you have?
This was the hardest one for me.
Yeah?
Yeah, and I'm still so unsure. But because I'm unsure, I just picked who I wanted to win.
Okay.
So I want Daniel Garcia to win. Tony Khan, so the 2024 is Daniel Garcia's year. They kind of missed the opportunity last year of putting him in the BCC, which I feel like would have been a great move for him. He's really started to establish himself as being on the level of these other upper mid card guys. And yeah, I'd like to see Christian have to like go after it or try and get it back, you know? The only thing is like I don't know what that would do with Adam Copeland's whole deal if they give it to Garcia.
Copeland and Garcia, Garcia already said, I'll see Adam Copeland somewhere down the line.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they could have a face versus face series of matches and be fine.
No, and I think they could too. But then, like, the whole feud they've been building between Adam Copeland and Christian, does that just stop if he doesn't have the belt anymore? Or does that continue because of the animosity there? I feel like they need to, like, amp up the animosity if that's the case, because you no longer have the belt as the thing that's, like, the push-pull factor for these guys. So I feel like that's the, like, tricky part. It's not, does Adam Copeland stop going after the belt, but does Adam Copeland stop going after Christian?
No, he can't. I mean, he has to come back for Christian.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt. They can't stop going after Christian. Because Christian's the one who injured him,
Yeah.
So I wonder if Copeland will show up at the pay-per-view. I don't know.
I think he will.
I think he will. But yeah, I wonder what they will do with the TNT title scene, and we'll see a Copeland Cage feud continue for sure, and then I think we'll see Garcia take on some different challengers. I'm predicting Daniel Garcia also to win the TNT title. Yeah.
All right. I did not think that you would be with me on this one.
I think it's his time. I think he's been doing some very good wrestling here lately. And as Kay said, Tony Khan already said 2024 is his year. I'm going to listen to the booker and pick what the booker man said. Daniel Garcia to win the belt. And Christian Cage has had it. And this is a great chance to put it on Daniel Garcia and have him make a run with it. And maybe have it defended more frequently also. Yeah. Is what I would like to see. And I think if Garcia has it, it will be defended more frequently and bring some prestige back to the TNT title by having some great matches with it, like we were just discussing.
Yeah. I think too, Daniel Garcia has shown growth in his promo work.
Oh yeah.
Because I think I can't remember if it was last week or this week, but he gave the best promo I've ever heard him do.
Yeah, it was this week.
Yeah, it was excellent. I think that might be the promo I was thinking of. That was the best one of 2024 so far. But that's okay. But yeah, I feel like he's kind of achieved that place where he can have a title wrestling wise and promo wise.
Gotcha.
Because I feel like he's been at the wrestling level for a while, but the promo personality piece wasn't quite there yet. But I think he's ready.
Yeah, no, I agree. All right, up next, AEW Women's World Title Match. Champion Toni Storm taking on Deonna Purrazzo. The battle of the matching tattoos.
The drunk duck? What is that?
Whatever it is. Yeah, it's like a drunk
duck from the future?
Drunk duck, yeah. Who you got, Kay?
I have timeless Toni Storm.
Yeah.
She is perfect in every way. I cannot say enough positive things about Toni Storm to adequately express how I feel about Toni Storm, both in the ring and out. I think she is perfection. I think that she should keep the title so that we can have a Mercedes Moné Toni Storm feud. And we can see two women at the top of their game going at each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Well said. Yeah. Toni Storm, she's great. She's been great in the ring, great on the mic, great in these movies. This character is awesome. It's my favorite thing I've ever seen in women's wrestling. It's one of my favorite things I've seen in AEW. Period. I'm enjoying it very much. She always makes me laugh. I love it. Keep it going. It's funny. It keeps being funny. They keep finding ways to keep it funny. They keep finding different ways to expand upon the character.
Mhm.
It kind of started off as kind of a one note joke, but they really have kept expanding it. So whoever's writing this stuff, I mean, good on them, because it's funny stuff. It is really funny, and
And
I enjoy it. And
for a wrestler who's not a professional actress, you know
yeah,
what I mean? 'Cause
she's been great.
oh my God. I mean, like, if you watch movies on like Turner Classic Movies, she's nailed it. Like these like
Mm,
old starlet roles,
yeah,
like down to like her mannerisms and her delivery of lines. Like it's just perfect.
yeah. She's got a great character going
Yeah.
on. Um, we gave her several awards in our year-end awards last year for the character as well, and for her wrestling.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm picking Tony Storm to keep it. I say, don't end this run she's on. And just as Kay said, hopefully we're going to see a Tony Storm versus Mercedes Moné feud. That is what they need to do, unquestionably. Uh, bring Mercedes Moné in, have her go for the world title right away, no doubt.
Mhm.
No doubt. Um, I don't see any reason not to do that. I think definitely do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think this will be a very good match. I'm looking forward to it. I think it might end up being the best match of Tony Storm's title run so far. Um,
I could definitely see that.
Purrazzo is very good. She's
Mhm.
been very good since she's been in AEW. She should win the title at some point, I think. But I just don't. I don't see it for her at Revolution. Just don't see it happening now. There's a chance. I'll give it a little chance, but I don't see it. I don't see it though.
I don't give it a chance.
I give it a tiny chance. But yeah, I'm predicting Tony Storm. Yeah, keep it. Like I said, keep the push going. Keep the character going. It's great. Don't stop it. Keep it all going. Keep it rolling into Mercedes Moné.
Mhm.
Yeah. Up next, the man is here. His first match as a full-time AEW roster member. Uh, the one a lot of people call the best wrestler in the world. I believe most publications, a lot of publications and places gave him Wrestler of the Year last year. Uh, he was no bones about wrestling. Did we give him Wrestler of the Year?
I don't recall. I believe so.
I think we gave him Wrestler of the Year last year. Anyways, I'm talking about Will Ospreay. He is taking on a fellow Callis family member, Konosuke Takeshita. And this is going to be the match of the night. I'll be shocked if it's not. Something will go terribly wrong if it's not. So knock on wood that doesn't happen. Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic match. Kay, who do you have winning?
Well, this is the one I was the most confident on.
Yeah.
Until you pointed out that it's not the one that you're the most confident on, and I hadn't even like momentarily considered that Takeshita might win this. But now, like, I can't help but think Don Callis is gonna turn on Will Ospreay, so Will Ospreay can become a face, you know, which would mean Takeshita gets the win. So now I don't know. I wrote down Will Ospreay, but yeah, I'm gonna say Takeshita.
You gonna say Takeshita?
Saying Takeshita. No, wait, I always do this. I always second guess myself and I change my thing at the last minute, and then I'm always wrong, and I should have kept it. I'm keeping Will Ospreay. Keeping Will Ospreay. Yep. Yeah, sticking with Will Ospreay.
Okay.
My original thinking was they can't possibly have him lose his first match. Until I thought about possible ways for him to lose his first match. But yeah, I'm sticking with Will Ospreay.
I want to point out, with the only match that we've picked differently on so far is the Moxley and Castagnoli versus FTR. Every other match we've predicted the same person.
Including this one?
Yes, including this one.
So you're going Will Ospreay?
Yeah, I'm picking Will Ospreay. I don't think they've signed him to bring him in to lose his first match. I don't think so. They could do the turning. Like Kay just said, I don't see him staying in the Callis family. I see him being a face.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see him staying in the Callis family, but the turn could happen after the match. And just have Ospreay win, and then some pushing, shoving. They're unhappy after the match, whatever. And then he breaks off from the Callis family. Yeah, I think this will be the match of the night, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
For sure. Takeshita's great. He hasn't lost a I don't know when the last time he lost a match is. He's gotten some big wins. He's beaten Chris Jericho a couple times. He's beaten Kenny Omega, twice?
Something like that, yeah.
They've got a lot of confidence in Takeshita, but they give him these big wins, and then they don't. I was gonna say they don't generally book him in big spots. This is a big spot, taking on Will Ospreay in his first match. This is a big spot, but they don't generally give him these big spots. So let's see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
I think this is like the second biggest spot after facing Sting in his retirement match. Like, if you were like, do you want a world title shot, or do you want to wrestle against Will Ospreay in his debut match? I'd be like, Will Ospreay debut match, hands down.
Yeah. No, I agree. This will be a fantastic match. Takeshita's big. So, I don't know. Ospreay, you got to wonder if his offense might be a little hampered by the fact of how big Takeshita is,
How big is Ospreay? He's tall. Isn't he tall?
He's tall, but I feel like Takeshita's taller.
Takeshita's definitely like thicker.
Yeah. So I wonder how like smoothly Ospreay will be able to get his stuff across, So I just worry about that a little bit. That's all.
Yeah, but Takeshita is good at selling. I mean, like, he made it look like Chris Jericho could do moves on him. And Chris Jericho's small.
Yeah, true. Well, we will see. I think it's gonna be a great one. Yeah. So we both pick Will Ospreay. We both will be cheering for Will Ospreay. And there's Dylan.
Hey.
He says, it's our friend Dylan at Last Week in Wrestling podcast. He says this match will be 5 out of 5 for sure, though they can't turn Ospreay babyface. Why can't they turn Ospreay babyface? I think they're definitely turning Ospreay babyface.
I think they're definitely turning him babyface.
It may not happen at this show, but they're definitely turning him babyface. Yeah. So why can't they turn Ospreay babyface?
Because people aren't going to root against him.
Yeah.
Even if he's with Callis.
Everyone wants to cheer for him. He's the shit. Everyone wants to cheer for him now that he's finally coming to America. Well, we'll wait for Dylan to answer that in a minute. All right, we got 2 matches left here. AEW World Title 3-way match. We got the champion, Samoa Joe, taking on Swerve Strickland and Hangman Adam Page. Who have you got, Kay?
I hope I'm wrong, but I have Samoa Joe. He's a good champion. Like, he just got the belt. This would be his second defense of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really see them doing that to Joe to have him lose on his second defense. And I feel like Hangman and Swerve have been so focused on each other. So that's a really easy way to have them cost each other the belt. And so then their feud can either continue, or one of them can demand another shot. Like if Joe pins Hangman, Swerve can demand a one-on-one shot for the belt, and we can get a rematch where Swerve can win it. As much as I'd like to be there when Swerve wins the belts, and he's definitely who I'm pulling for. Yeah, I think Samoa Joe's going to win.
I think Samoa Joe's going to win. I'll give you my answer in a second. We got an answer from Dylan here about Will Ospreay. He says about why he can't turn babyface. Dylan says it would hinder having Ospreay versus Swerve at Wembley. Ospreay is heel, which works for him, and so is Swerve, except they're both over with the crowd. Keep Swerve heel to tell a better story.
So have heel versus heel? I don't understand.
I don't understand either, yeah. So keep Swerve heel to tell a better story. Ospreay is heel, which works for him, and so is Swerve, except they're both over with the crowd. Keep Swerve heel to tell a better story.
I'm not sure I understand. I think
understand.
I think keep Swerve heel and turn Ospreay face.
I agree with that. Yeah, keep Swerve heel and turn Ospreay face. Yeah, that's what I would do.
So I got Samoa Joe. Who do you got?
So Dylan says, yeah, heel versus heel at Wembley. I don't know. I'm not for that.
Yeah, me either.
I'm not for that. But we don't have to agree all the time.
We must agree all the time.
So back to the world title match.
Yes.
I also picked Samoa Joe to retain. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not think at all that you were going to be with me on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I picked Samoa Joe to retain. I will be. I'm not sure who I'm going for still.
What?
Still not sure who I'm going for.
What is wrong
Dylan
with
said,
you?
when you come on for predictions, I'll explain better. Yeah, Kay and I will be on Last Week in Wrestling prediction show on Thursday night. So catch that.
And then everyone can find out what Dylan means.
Yes.
So I can't believe we've agreed on.
So yeah, I'm still not sure who I'm cheering for, but I think Joe's keeping it. I don't see them taking it from him so soon. I think Swerve is ready for the world title. You could definitely put the world title on Hangman. Hangman has been wrestling fantastically lately. So is Swerve. I mean, these guys are at the peak of their careers right now. I think both of them have been great. You could put the world title on either of them. This isn't a knock against either of them, or saying they aren't ready or anything like that. I'm just saying I think they're gonna keep the belt on Joe.
Saying you don't know who you're for is a knock against them, because I cannot believe you are not for Swerve in this. How do you not know who you're for? Like, yes, I like all of these guys, but Swerve is there.
I like Swerve and Hangman. I'm not sure. I'm not sure who I'm for.
I like Swerve better than Hangman.
Not sure who I'm for.
His character is more interesting.
I don't know who I'm for. Anyways, but like I said, as I was saying, I don't think they're taking it off Joe so soon. And in his second defense, I wish we had seen more than one defense already out of Joe. It's kind of disappointing that we've only seen one defense so far. And it was, he beat Hook in a, glorified squash match, pretty much. But yeah, I see Joe keeping the belt. I don't see a new champion on Sunday. I would love to be there for a new world champion. I just don't see it happening. For some reason, I just don't see it happening. And the way they've built things up, I just don't see it happening either. I think if someone's winning it, I think it'll be Swerve. If someone wins it, it'll be Swerve, not Hangman.
You mean if someone else besides Joe wins?
Right. If someone wins the belt, it will be Swerve, not Hangman. But so I think Swerve has a chance. I think there's a chance. I put it like 70-30. That's what 70% chance for Joe, 30% for Swerve.
I'm at like 60-40.
I might even say there,
yeah,
like 60,
I'm not confident
60,
in my pick.
60-40, yeah, even. 65-35. I'll say that.
Yeah.
65-35. But yeah, I think Joe's winning. I think this should be good. Like again, I'm not big on 3-way matches, but sometimes they're very good. They're not. Sometimes it always depends who's in them and things like that, and of course how they're booked, how they're planned. But as I was saying, wrestling it's it's two guys doing moves. There's always an odd man out. So it just makes things awkward to me a lot of times. But whatever.
And there's no stipulations to this match, right?
What do you mean?
Like, it's not no DQ.
No, from what I just 3-way.
Okay.
Is all I've.
No one's banned from ringside.
Not that I've heard.
Okay.
No.
I didn't think so. I was just double checking.
So yeah. All right, and now for the main event. What I think will be the main event. We'll see if they actually put it on last or not. I figure they will. I'm not sure.
The long applause, the confetti, the speech after the match, the tearful look back at his life as a wrestler and all what the fans have meant to him, yeah, all that's going to take place. It's going to be an additional 20 minutes after.
Well, they don't have the rights to any video footage of his life as a wrestler. They can just show the last 3 years.
They probably got stuff from TNA.
From TNA, you think?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I would imagine.
Right.
WWE is definitely not giving them anything.
Yeah.
It's just irritating, but.
So for the last match, like I said, what I'm assuming will be the main event, Sting's retirement match, the AEW World Tag Team Title Tornado match. So that means all 4 men are legal the entire match. We have the champions, the undefeated team of Sting and Darby Allin, defending against the Young Bucks. So, Kay, what do you have happening in this one?
Sting and Darby Allin going out in a blaze of glory and beating the Young Bucks, and Sting retiring as tag team champion.
So you think they're going to retire as champions, and then we'll have some sort of tournament or something for the belts?
And that is what I want.
I think that would be awesome.
That's what I want. Awesome.
That's what I want too.
So I'm hoping by picking that and just saying it over and over again, it's putting it out there into the universe, and it will come to fruition.
Yeah. So that is my pick also. Pick Sting and Darby Allin to win, and Sting to just take the belt on into retirement, and Sting and Darby Allin finish as an undefeated team, and I expect AEW to have a tournament for the belts. I see this as 50-50, really.
Mm-hmm.
I could see it going either way.
Me too.
I'm not confident in that pick, not much at all. I hope I'm right. That's the way I would book it for sure. That's what I want to happen for sure. is see Sting and Darby Allin. I don't want the fucking Young Bucks to ruin. I mean, I like the Young Bucks. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to see them ruin Sting's retirement match.
Mhm.
I don't want to see Sting lose his last match. No way. I don't want to see that happen.
I'm putting all my chips in Tony Khan's love of Sting. Like, I think that Sting would be totally against the idea of winning his last match, but I'm betting that Tony Khan talked him into it.
I hope so.
Yeah. I think Tony Khan loves him loves him enough and is persuasive enough that he will have been able to talk Sting into going out undefeated.
I hope so. Because I don't want to see him lose his final match. Generally people, it's the tradition in wrestling. They always say, you go out on your back, meaning you lose your final match. You put someone over. You do the business a favor. There's nothing left for you. There's no reason for you to win your final match. You might as well put someone over and give them some heat. For their career is going to keep going. Give them something for them to keep going on. That's what they generally say. We haven't always seen that. Undertaker he won his final match. Sting, I think, is definitely a hell of a lot better than the Undertaker is. I know some people are going to disagree with that, but whatever. It's true. Sting's way better than the Undertaker. Just as a wrestler.
I think too the component that adds like uncertainty to this is that it's a tag match.
Yeah.
Like Undertaker went out solo.
Right.
But I think like you can still follow the tradition of putting a younger guy over by letting Darby get the pin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
they lose.
he
the
can
Young
still,
Bucks
yeah.
beat the shit out of Darby, and
Yeah.
he gets pinned, so Sting and Darby lose.
No, I'm saying let Darby get the pin.
Oh.
So they can still win, but he's still putting a younger person over because Darby's the one that's pinning the Young Bucks.
Oh, I see.
So it's putting Darby over.
I see. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that way it can.
No, I totally see that happening. Yeah, I would see Darby getting the winning pinfall, like for sure.
Yeah.
Yes. Man, but it would be so much more fun to see Sting get the winning pinfall, wouldn't it?
That's not going to happen.
Wouldn't it though?
It would be more fun, yes, but that's not going to happen. I don't know. I would be very surprised.
I don't know. But yeah, of course, so we both predicted Sting and Darby Allin to win, and like I said, take the belts, and the belts will be vacated, and have a tournament for the titles. That'd be awesome to get to see AEW's tag teams in a tournament. I know some people are sick of the tournaments in AEW. I like a wrestling tournament. That's
hell yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what wrestling is a tournaments. That's what where wrestling comes from, at least, is tournaments.
Plus something to guarantee regular tag team wrestling on AEW Collision and Dynamite every week.
Exactly.
Anything that can secure some time for the tag teams.
Exactly.
I'm all for.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Let's just have a big tag team tournament for the belts, and let Sting and Darby go out with the gold, and have a big celebration in Greensboro for Sting's career, and have something nice happen. That's all I want. That's all I want. It's just something nice to happen. But on the other hand, of course, the Young Bucks are back. They're awesome. They're great. They have this new heel persona of Matthew and Nicholas, and they could very easily beat Sting and Darby. And oh my God, the amount of heat that they would get, for beating Sting and Darby in Sting's retirement match in Greensboro would just be nuclear. You know?
That's what has me worried. Because I feel like their heel run, is, at least from looking on X and various other wrestling communities, they're not going over that well as far as like being heels that can be taken seriously. A lot of people aren't fans of the like stupid fining everyone for dumb things, but not in like a good heel way, but in a that's stupid way. So if they wanted to get like real heat, this would be an easy way to do it, which I could see them doing, but I really hope they don't.
Massive heat.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost
Too much.
Almost. It's almost too hard to ignore it if you're a booker, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, you could get this heel team so over by having them beat this guy in his retirement match. Or you can make this magical moment that lives forever and would automatically be one of the coolest things that's happened in your promotion's 5-year history. You know, that's hard to decide. That's got to be hard to decide as a booker. Has to be.
Wait, one thing we didn't talk about that you said we were going to talk about when we got here.
What?
What's up with Ric Flair?
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right.
What role is he
Big
going to play
question.
in all this?
What's up with Ric Flair?
Yeah.
Right. So last week on right. I did forget. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Last week on Dynamite, we saw Ric Flair going into the Young Bucks EVP office and talking with them, and he was upset that he hadn't been more involved in Sting's road to retirement.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's going to happen with Flair? So, Kay, what do you think is going to happen with Flair?
Well, before I answer that, I have a question.
Okay.
How long of a contract did Flair sign? Do we know?
From what I heard, multi-year contract.
That's what I heard too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not good for my plan then.
What's your plan?
My plan is to have Sting and Darby Allin win the tag belts or keep the tag belts and win their retirement match.
So it's another thing, yeah.
Because if you put Flair in it and he's with the Bucks now, and that's a relationship that can continue.
Big heat. Yeah.
Ugh.
Big time heat.
Shit.
Yeah. Are you wanting to change your prediction now?
No, because anytime I change my prediction, I'm always wrong. So I'm keeping it. But
okay.
I mean, that makes a big difference, though.
Yeah.
Like, I was already kind of questioning my pick, but like that has me super questioning my pick.
Yeah.
Because it's such a Flair thing to do to turn on Sting.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, Flair has turned on Sting about 20 times throughout the course of his career.
Yeah. And this is his last opportunity to do it again.
Yeah. So Flair could swerve everybody and come out and just be a good guy. You know, could stop the Bucks from interfering at some point, or stop the Bucks from using a weapon at some point or something. You know, maybe Brandon Cutler comes out with a weapon or something, and Flair stops him. Flair comes out and stops him and surprises everybody that he's still a face. You know. Mm. Oh wow, that's a relief. You know.
Brandon Cutler's been off TV for so long. I feel like they would have to like reintroduce him as he came out. Like, here's Brandon Cutler, you know, the one who's friends with the Young Bucks.
No.
I mean,
but they could have Flair do that, you know, save Sting in some way. And now you also got to question who else might show up. I mean, Sting has, you know, he's been in WCW, he's been in TNA, he was in WWE shortly. Who might show up? I mean, during this match, who might run in? You know, mm-hmm. Who from the past might have a grudge against Sting and want to take it out and make him lose his final match? Are we going to see some shit like that? That's a very Tony Khan thing to do, I feel like.
See, I would
know, find somebody from the past and have them come run in on Sting.
I feel like have Sting's friends in the front row, and one of them steps over to aid Sting.
Yeah, it would be, yeah. And that'll be interesting also to see what wrestlers are there for Sting in an official capacity, you know, in the so to speak, guest of the program, guest of AEW, you know, whatever, you know, with good seats.
I think Ricky Steamboat's going to be there.
You would hope, you know, you would hope. Ricky Steamboat lives in North Carolina. He's a friend of AEW, of course, former AEW worker. You would hope he's going to be there. Friend of Sting, in the business at least.
Yeah.
So Kevin Nash, we know, won't be there. So
Can I ask
who
a
knows
question
who will
about
be
that,
there? Yeah.
the Kevin Nash thing?
Yeah.
So I know this was when he was working for the other company, when he was working for AEW. But like CM Punk was backstage at WWE shows when he still worked for AEW.
Mm-hmm.
So why couldn't Kevin Nash just be backstage to support Sting and to watch the match from backstage? Like, why did he have to be in the audience?
Oh,
like,
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, anybody could be backstage. Anybody could be backstage.
So I don't understand like why they're making such a big deal out of this. Like, dude, just don't get a seat. Go stand in the back.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that.
Yeah.
But that's a good point. Yeah, you can go backstage. I mean,
like, I feel like he's just saying this just to make WWE look petty, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are solutions to this problem.
As long as Tony Khan or Swerve, and maybe he is showing up. Maybe he will be there.
Oh.
Who knows? But yeah, he could be in the back. I mean, as long as Tony Khan is fine with it, of course, he could be in the back. Yeah, any of the old wrestlers could be in the back. But yeah, then that's a question of, you know, can you be on camera? You know, that's a different question.
Yeah.
So I'll be very interested to see what wrestlers turn out. Of course, we'll be at the show, so we won't be able to see who turns out because we won't be watching the pay-per-view telecast. We'll be at the show.
Don't they play it on the screen?
Oh, hopefully we'll get to see it on the screen.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah. Hopefully we'll get to see it on the screen. Who shows up?
We're not going to get to hear JR announce Sting's last match.
No.
Until we buy the DVD.
Until we buy the DVD months later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so folks, hopefully you enjoyed tonight's show. We went a little long. So this has been your AEW Revolution prediction and preview show. Strangely enough, we picked almost all the same wrestlers, winners, that is. So the only match that matters, the only match where we picked different winners is the BCC versus FTR match. I picked FTR, Kay picked Moxley and Castagnoli. So whoever wins that wins the prediction championship belt. Every other match, we picked the same people. How about that?
Like, we weren't even in the same building when we made our list.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah. Do
you think we just talked to each other about wrestling so much that we like convinced each other of our thoughts and ideas?
Yeah, I'm sure. We just I mean, we watch wrestling with each other. We talk about wrestling with each other.
Yeah.
Talk about wrestling with you, to each other.
But like, as I was writing these, I was gonna be like, Ace is gonna think I'm so crazy for picking this one, you know? Like with Samoa Joe and with Daniel Garcia. I didn't think you would be on board with those. So even the ones I was like, he's gonna think I'm crazy, like you picked the same ones.
Yeah. So yeah. So FTR, pull it out for me. I need that prediction
FTR
championship
pull it out
belt
for him because I'd rather see you win than keep my championship. But I don't think that's happening.
All right, everybody. We've got a kind of a full week. Tomorrow night, I am going to be on a podcast called Who Booked This Shit? It is I'm going to be the host. It's at 8 p.m. It's a fantasy booking show. It's going to be myself, Dylan from Last Week in Wrestling, Byron from the Flex Zone, Leo from Kicking It with Leo. Wolf is going to be on there. And we look at the AEW Revolution card. I'll be the host, and I'll be asking these guys basically, could you have done it any better? What would you have done differently? Would you have put someone else in this match? Who would you have win? Et cetera, et cetera. We're kind of looking at the Revolution card and kind of rebooking it, so to speak. So it's an interesting show. I think you'll enjoy it. If you like AEW, I think you'll enjoy it. That's at 8 p.m. tomorrow. They'll be right here on YouTube. Be on X as well.
That'll be interesting because I feel like they did a really good job booking this show. So
Yeah.
it would be interesting to hear other perspectives on what they could have done differently.
Right. I agree. Yeah, it will be. Thursday. We will be on Last Week in Wrestling podcast, AEW Revolution prediction show, where we'll have the same predictions, but we won't be talking as much. But we'll have different things to say, I'm sure, because we'll be talking to different folks. I'm not sure what time that is, but it's Thursday night. So check on Last Week in Wrestling. Check with them. It's Thursday night. It will be here on our YouTube channel Thursday night, and on X, their prediction show. And then what else?
Wednesday.
No. And then.
What are we not doing?
It? No. And then.
Okay.
And then that's it, isn't it? Is that it? Friday,
apparently.
Saturday, we're not watching it. Yeah. And then Sunday, at some point we'll put something on X and or YouTube from the arena, even if it's just, hey, how's it going? We're here. Here's the set. Even if it's just that, we'll put something on. It may just be that. We'll see.
And there won't be a retro watch along on Sunday.
Yeah, no retro watch along on Sunday. The retro watch along will return next week, though. So look forward to that. Don't know what the theme will be, but hopefully you're looking forward to it. But the retro wrestling watch along is not gone. It is just on hiatus for a couple weeks. It is returning next week. I believe it'll be on Sunday, Sunday, March 10th. And so just look on X. We'll announce on X what we're going to watch and what time it'll be. It'll be 12:45, probably. We'll probably keep the same time. But just watch X for an announcement about all that. And as I said, the Retro Wrestling Watch Along returns March 10th. And those are a lot of fun. It's a nice way to spend a Sunday afternoon, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, hopefully you enjoyed the show. And hopefully you enjoy Revolution as well. And tune in to see us, as I said, those Tuesday and Thursday for those shows that will be on. And they will be right here on our YouTube channel. And
make sure to subscribe.
Make sure to subscribe and like our stuff. Liking stuff really does help. It makes a difference, believe it or not. It helps. So please like stuff and subscribe. Spread the word. If you know people who like AEW, please tell them about our show and our channel and our account and all that stuff. Yeah, please spread the word. We would appreciate it very much. And as Mick Foley would say, have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.